I didn't even know I was recording. It doesn't have the 3, 2, 1 on this OBS. Yes, no. I'm going to stop saying yes, no. Although don't even think I've said it in the last few videos. This is going to be move this mic, a combat weekly 2.5 extra credit. I don't know what to call it. Because I know I've said I'm not going to do notes, and I still haven't done notes. I've just wrote 3 lines. But I missed out so much stuff on that last video that I wanted to actually speak about, like Jack Cullen not training, Frazer, Clarke being shit, drug testing in boxing. There was one about the UFC which I forgot about that I wanted to do next. Oh yeah, I wanted what should happen, what Gane should fight next and that, and I just missed them out because I don't do notes and I just wing it and then forget. So yeah, this is just going to be a little short video just with a few extra things that I missed out. So I've got my little notes here. So first I'm going to start with the Jack Cullen allegation that I made on the first Combat Weekly, where I said, I looked on his Instagram and it didn't look like he was training. But it fucking didn't look like he's training. Has anyone been on his Instagram? They've changed the bio now since that win, because obviously they're trying to make it a bit more realistic. They've changed the bio, but so when one of my mates tagged Jack in a thing saying like, come on Jack, and they tagged his old account, but it's verified and that, I looked on it and he's always, when he's in a fight camp, he's quite keen on, like posting his training videos and that, and he'd posted nothing. But there was a few things on his story which made me led me to believe that obviously he's still active on the account. He's just not been training. So, and obviously if like anyone who knows Jack a little bit, like him not training for a fight, I know it's a British title fight, and it's like he's like the mountaintop for him, but it's not out of the realms of possibility that he wouldn't fucking train for a fight. Like definitely not out of the realms of possibility. So I just didn't think he trained for the fight, and then obviously I seen the weigh-in and I thought he's in good shape, and then he has a performance like that, probably the best shape of his life, and it turns out his fucking Instagram account's been hacked. Has anyone looked at it? Do you know what the worst bit is? Someone DM'd me on Twitter, not someone, let me go, does anyone ask about his name? Obviously I don't really know him, it's just someone who follows me saying, has Jack Cullen not been training, because I'm going to put Heffron on my bet? And I said, listen, I don't know, but I don't think he's been training, no. And he's been hacked. His bio, if I'd have just took a check before I came on here and started saying that he's not been training, if I'd have just looked, his bio said pro boxer, crypto and forex trader. Like, me and Jack Cullen are not like mates or anything, but I promise you now, he has never ever in his entire life traded on anything, crypto, forex, stocks, nothing like that ever. He hasn't ever, and I guess he just definitely hasn't. So he'd been hacked. His Instagram's been hacked, and the hackers are. But even since then, the hackers have posted. So they posted like 3 weird pictures. Not weird pictures. The pictures are fine, but I mean, obviously weird for a hacker. I need a trim bad, don't I? Look at that. Yeah, they've posted 3 pictures of him holding the British title and like saying like great win this weekend. And there's fucking verified accounts, like actual boxers who are guessing with mates with him who don't know, saying like, well in Jack, get in. But now he's been hacked. His missus posted a picture of him in London and tagged his new account, and the new account is like, it's got like 2,000 followers or something, and it's not verified, but it says like I've been hacked, and it's got like up-to-date pictures that are obviously not copied. So this account's hacked him, and it's just still using the account. But what I'm guessing they're doing is pretending to be him, and then every so often posting like, bullshit crypto, fucking forex, join our fucking bullshit Telegram link and we'll make you rich. So yeah, so he might have been training. I guess by the way he performed, he has been training. So yeah, I wanted to clear that up, and I forgot to say that. I even said in the video, we'll go to the allocations later, and didn't go to allocations, Bobby, mate. It's not the time, you know what I mean? Just trying to become a famous YouTuber, and I've got my dog dropping. Should I throw it for him? There you go. It's not going to make it any better, is he going to come back? So yeah, wanted to clear that up. Didn't talk about drug testing in boxing. Can you believe Smith Eubank never had drug testing? Like, how ridiculous is that? It was like I know I've seen a lot of people this week and last week, because it's a big topic on Twitter. That glare in my glasses is doing my head in. I've seen a lot of people on Twitter saying like, there should be drug testing at all shows. Shut the fuck up. How would you have drug testing at all shows? Think about what you're saying. Think about how fucking idiotic that is. Imagine a York Hall show headlined by, I don't fucking know who's headlining York Hall shows nowadays. Fucking Sam Eggington against whoever the fuck, right? Having fucking VADA testing at 30 grand or 20 grand, 25 grand, whatever it is. Imagine that. Obviously, you can't. Even Jack Flatley, who fought that, who's that kid from Stoke, you wouldn't have VADA testing on that. They probably don't make 30 grand on these shows profit wise. Like, so obviously you wouldn't have VADA testing on that. I said I wouldn't even really expect VADA testing on fucking Joe Joyce versus Zhang. Is it Zhang? Or is that not? That's the MMA one. What's his name now? The Chinese heavyweight. Whatever. We'll just call him Zhang because whatever. Yeah, Joyce versus Zhang. I wouldn't even. It's Zhang, innit? I wouldn't have even. I wouldn't even said have a rematch for that one. Have VADA testing for that one because like. Is Frank Warren going to even make 30 grand on that profit wise? Probably not. Like a lot of these shows are lost leaders, aren't they? And then you cash them out. So I wouldn't be asked if they never had. I know I've been since like I said this and I got informed now there is VADA testing because apparently Joe Joyce asked for it. So fair enough. But like you wouldn't expect it on that. But for Eubank Smith, a pay-per-view card on Sky by the way, not DAZN, not fucking BT, Sky Sports, with a close to sold out Manchester Arena, you're talking millions of pounds in revenue here. No, you can't spend 30 grand on drug testing. Like I don't expect Liam Smith to be on drugs, and Eubank Jr. again probably isn't on drugs, but no VADA testing for it, the whole card is ridiculous for a fight that size. And obviously I give Eddie a lot of stick, and anything that happens where I can beat Eddie with, I fucking love it. Like any easy target, any easy subject where he's in the wrong, it's good. But him popping loads of fighters, loads of fighters probably popping on his cards because he's actually tested them properly is not a bad thing. And the fact that you got Ben Shalom and fucking Frank Warren trying to like put the knife into him about him popping is ridiculous because how can you have no VADA testing? Like, let's be honest, UCAD, it's a joke, innit? UCAD testing. You'd have to be. Has anyone ever failed a UCAD only testing? Like, you'd have to be special, and you'd have to be surrounded with a team full of also special people to ever fail a UCAD test. They test you twice in camp, maybe one randomly and one on the week of the fight. If you're failing a drug test on the week of the fight, you're an absolute retard. How are you failing a test on the week of a drug test on the week of the fight? Like that stuff should be out of your system by now. Even VADA and USADA are realistically a dog shit. Like these fighters that are failing drug tests on VADA, I'm thinking, how are you failing on VADA? Like it's not hard to cheat. The drug takers and the doctors that are providing these drugs are so far ahead of the. This has made it well worse. Now you want fuck off, go away. The drug testers and people who are providing these drugs are so far ahead of the drug testers that it's pointless even testing. You may as well just. I don't know because I don't. My opinion on drugs is like probably different to a lot of people's. I think in football, most Premier League footballers will be on some sort of drug, performance enhancing drug. I'm stroking Bobby under the table here. Bobby, go away, please stop. We'll be on some sort of performance enhancing drug. NFL, rife with it. Most sports will have bad drug cheats in it, and who cares? Why would anybody care if someone in football is taking drugs, or in athletics is taking drugs, or cycling, or NFL, fucking baseball? Why is anyone concerning themselves with people who are fucking throwing a ball, kicking a ball, running, taking drugs? Let them take drugs. Good. I want them to take drugs. I want to see people run the 100 metres faster than anyone else in the world can. I want to see the level of football we're watching now. James Milner, mate, look at his. Have you seen the picture where James Milner's doing this in Madrid? Well, hang on, is that even right? Yeah, that in Madrid. Yeah. And he's got his veins are like fucking road maps and that. He's 36 beating everyone at that fucking lactate muscle test. If you don't think his veins are popping with drugs, you're mad. But they don't. In the Premier League, you have about 3 people every game have a piss test. Do you know how easy it is to fake a piss test or to pass a piss test? EPO doesn't even show up in your piss. An EPO would be the best drug to have as a footballer or someone in the NFL and that. It's just ridiculous. And because those sports don't test for drugs properly, so nobody fails drug tests. The fans of them sports don't care about drugs because it's not in like out there. Do you know what I mean? If suddenly the Premier League said, "Oh, we're going to sign up and everyone's going to do VADA," you'd have 15 footballers in the Premier League, no joke, failing drug test every week, and then everybody would care about drugs in football. They'd be like, "Oh my God, drugs in football is a real problem." But because nobody fails, nobody cares, and rightly so. Nobody should care. Nobody should care about drugs in sport that does not involve And even then, do I care? Smacking people about, do you know what I mean? MMA, boxing, I don't know, judo, taekwondo, things where people can get really injured. Maybe you shouldn't take drugs in them. Or, at least, I don't know, it's hard to say, because I'm not a boxer, it's hard to say allow boxers to take drugs because then, but at the minute how you've got it with the testing, it just means the higher level boxers, the ones who are earning more money than everyone else, the ones who can afford to pay the best people to provide them with drugs, they can cheat and everyone else can't afford to cheat. So it's not a level play. Drug testing in sports is not a level playing field at all. So get rid of it all, or have drug testing in boxing, but also have boxing that doesn't have drug testing, and let it be known, right, this card that we're having right now has no drug testing. If you want to go and take whatever the fuck you want to take it and punch the fuck out of this other guy, because he's also not taking, he's also not being tested, and he's probably on drugs, and then do VADA and USADA and whatever random drug testing for other fights and other cards where they know, do you know what I mean? But I don't know, it's a tough one, isn't it? Drugs in boxing and MMA, but any other sport, who cares? But yeah, like I was saying, Ben Shalom and fucking Frank Warren trying to stick the knife into Eddie Hearn because his fighters are popping on his cards. But your fighters are not going to pop on your cards because they're being tested, maybe, at best, once on fight week by UCAD. Honestly, anyone who knows, I'm not trying to act like I'm an expert, because everyone knows my opinions are abysmal on most things. I've got not even a jack of all trades, because most of my opinions on everything I get involved in and I'm interested in are shite. But listen, drug testing is the easiest thing to get around, and especially UCAD drug testing is, like I said, has anyone ever failed a UCAD? Didn't Dillian White fail it but that was because it was a fucking over-the-counter supplement, so he probably wasn't trying to hide it. Like, how do you fail a UCAD drug test? It's just ridiculous, isn't it? And the fact that they're like Eddie Hearn, should he really be applauded for doing drug testing? Not really, but they're not doing it, and he is doing it. I like the fact that he's now pressurising them to do it. And Walks has said, I didn't think of this till he said it. He said that he thinks they're doing it because he thinks he's pushing them into doing it, because if Frank Warren and Ben Shalom started doing VADA drug testing on all their cards, like Eddie's saying he's going to do, they would be bankrupt within 12 months. They couldn't afford it. It'd be impossible for them to afford it. So maybe that's Eddie's little end game. So yeah, that was the second topic. And the third one was Frazer Clarke. I spoke a little bit about it, saying he's not good, but like, how not good is Frazer Clarke? Like, he is really not good, is he? I think I started to talk about how good he was, and then went into a tangent on like the money that he's earning and Ben Shalom overpaying. But Frazer Clarke's not good, is he? At all. Really not good at boxing. Like, obviously he's not British level. Would he win a British title? That's why they took him out the purse bids, wasn't it, with Wardley, because they don't fancy his chances against Fabio Wardley, and Fabio Wardley's not even good either. British level, who would you fancy it? Who would anyone fancy Frazer Clarke to beat at British level? You wouldn't fancy him to beat Chisora. This version of Chisora, wouldn't fancy him to beat him. Wouldn't beat Joyce. Don't think he'll ever even reach the level of Joyce. Who else obviously wouldn't beat Dillian White? I've still not done my research. Who's a mid-level British heavyweight at the minute? How bad am I at boxing at the minute? Can't even think of one. Obviously, Adelaide, like that Tiki V, whatever he's called, and Wardley, I don't think he'd beat any of them. But even like Chisora, no, I don't think he'd beat Chisora. This version of Chisora, who can't speak, doesn't throw any punches, and just sits in the corner waiting to counter, I think would stop Frazer Clarke. He is so bad. He'll never reach the level of any of these boxers. What was the fourth? I thought of a topic. Oh yeah, so it was the Gane fight. I hadn't put it down. Gane, who does Gane fight? A couple of people said, who do I think Gane should fight next? This was on Twitter, and I just think Aspinall. They're saying Aspinall should fight. A lot of people saying Aspinall should fight. Not to me, but it's out there. Pavlovich, who's the backup fighter for the Jones-Stipe rematch fight in New York. Can you believe? Right, this fucking idiot here has just told my mate to book me on to Toulouse away, and it's over New York when I was going to New York, but I'm going to go to New York for Jones, Stipe, and I can't because Toulouse, I fly back on the day that we'd have to go to New York. How fucking embarrassing is that from me? Absolutely ridiculous. So I can't go to New York now, unless I flew there the day of the fight, which is just impossible. So yeah, I think Gane should fight Aspinall on the Jones card if he's willing to. He didn't take any damage, did he? He fucking battered Spivac. So if he's willing to fight Aspinall on the Gane card, That'd be sick. And then obviously it's the timelines then match up because he's fight. I know the winner. No matter who wins out of Jones Stipe, they are 100% not going to be back in the octagon. When they said ring, then before. It depends. On it. I think Stipe win, loses, or draw, retires. Jones, if he wins, if he loses. And Stipe will retire, and I think Jones would then fight for the vacant title. I think he would have another go at it. If it's a draw, then who knows? Who cares about a draw? And if Jones wins, at best he wouldn't come back till International Fight Week in July. At best, even then, would you think he'd turn around that quick? Could he be arsed fighting a Pavlovich or a Aspinall or a Cyril Gane, or else is knocking about higher echelons of the heavyweight division in UFC? Probably that's it, and it just them three. Could he be asked fighting any of them three? Plus, one of them, two of them three have got to fight each other as a full number. Because who's the number one contender? Aspinall is not a number one contender for beating Tyboran. No way. And Gane has had 2 world title shots, shit the bed in them both. Got out wrestled by Gane, who's not a wrestler, and embarrassed by John Jones. I know he's John Jones and John Jones can do that, but he did get embarrassed. It's one of the worst title. Fight, one of the worst title performances from someone in a title fight ever. And Pavlovich, you don't get a title fight for beating. Was it Tuivasa the last person he stopped, or did he stop? What's he called, the wrestler? Why do I always forget names? The one who beat Aspinall, because Aspinall got injured. What the fuck's his name now? He lost to Derek Lewis. Curtis Blades. Yeah, you don't get a title shot for beating Curtis Blades. Was that his last fight? So two of them three need to fight, and the winner should fight the winner of Jones, Stipe, or if the UFC just sit back and go, all right, we'll just see what happens with them two, because they could easily both retire, and then you would have to go. You'd probably. I don't know who would, because Aspinall, win-wise, definitely doesn't deserve a title fight. And if you think about it as well, the Curtis Blades fight, I know he only lasted 2 minutes and he lost because of injury, but watch that fight again. I know it's easy to blag yourself into thinking he was doing okay or it was a freak injury, but he was losing the striking exchanges to Curtis Blades, and Curtis Blades is not a good striker. I know it was only 2 minutes and who knows what would have happened, but yeah, he wasn't. So who would you give the fight if it was a vacant title fight and you've got them three and there's no time for any of them to fight each other because you want to get the heavyweight title back in rotation? Who would you give it to out of them two? You'd say probably have to be Pavlovich because he's been more active and he's beat better guys, and then what would you say, Gane versus Aspinall? You say that's why it'd be good for them two to fight on the Jones fight. Them two fight on the Jones undercard. Pavlovich is the the backup fighter, so he's getting paid anyway just to weigh in, and then the winner of Gane versus Aspinall fights Pavlovich for the vacant belt in UFC 300, which will be in the first quarter of maybe at just second quarter of 2024. So you're talking March, April, May at worst. So yeah, for the people that ask what should Gane do next, that's what Gane should do next. But yeah, this is the Combat Weekly 2.5 with the bits that I missed out. And you know what? I am now, especially for this one and for the Football Weekly thing I'm going to do little notes, because especially the Jack Cullen one, I wanted to talk about it and just forgot. So yeah, live chat's coming Sunday. So today being Friday, I know you're thinking, what a little scruff, you've got this on again. I've not. I've just been walking around the house with no top on because it's fucking roasting, and this was the first thing in the washing machine when I decided I was going to do this video 10 minutes ago. So, well, it's been 20 minutes, so that's a lie. 25 minutes ago, so I put it on. So Combat Weekly 2.5. I'll put this out tonight. My ass, it's 9:15. I'll just put it out straight away. Live chat Sunday, can't fucking wait for the live chat. I haven't decided what state I'm going to be in for the live chat. I might just do it sound, or like sound now, or might do it stoned, because stoned it was a laugh. Maybe do all the live chat stoned, they're a laugh. And then I'm going to do the betting. I will do, no, because there isn't no football, is there? So it will just be and there's only one UFC card, no boxing. Probably won't make any bets this weekend, so I'll do definitely another video this weekend, but I'm not sure what about. I might do a video on everybody's start to the Premier League, every team, all 20 of them, how they've started, how I think they'll do, not the signings, but just how maybe like a couple of the signings, like talk about a couple of signings I think will do well in that. But I'm definitely going to do another video before the live chat, but I just haven't decided what. I tell you what, that's what someone said. You need to start telling people in the comments what they want to see. So anybody can be asked with an idea of what I should do, another video before the live chat on Sunday, put it in the comments. And if it's shit, I'll tell you it's shit. And if it's good, I'll probably do it, because I've done 2 videos already, what people have requested. See, this second video that I wanted to go 10 minutes has gone 20, and the original one that I wanted to go 20 went 30, so we're 20 minutes over on the Combat Weekly. So yeah, bye, like and subscribe.